Well, good early evening to you. It's about 6 p.m. Eastern here in the Big Apple, NYC. It is Thursday, December 5th. We got about 20 days left to Christmas and about a little bit longer just to get out of the new year into 2025. It's really going quick, ladies and gentlemen. But welcome to another edition of Otaku Thursday here on CutiCast TV. Thank you for clicking on this video. We really do appreciate that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. You know, it's important that you subscribe. We really do appreciate that. There's big things coming for 2025. We're working on it. So, continue to watch, please. And share the video, like it. We really do appreciate it. There's a lot going on right now. We're trying to put a lot of good stories together for you. One big thing is that Jump Fiesta, the last Comic-Con for the year, anime manga convention, is slated for December 20th this year to Sunday, December 22nd. So there's a lot of news that's going to be coming forward for it. We may not bring all of it probably until the new year, since it's back-to-back holidays on there, and the schedule is going to be a little bit weird between the 25th to first week of January. But we'll bring it to you because it's very important. So relax, kick back, relax. We'll bring it out there because I know, this is what you've come to watch on there. But we're going to start off with what is going on in the anime ratings right now. Who's on top? The top 10 via Anime Corner. And there's been a lot of changes. Some series have dropped out. For example, Is It Wrong Picking Up Girls in a Dungeon? Season 5 has dropped off. And I think that's because they had to skip a week. So basically, I think, is it this coming week or next? No, it's next week. We'll get a new episode for that series. So let's start with the top 10 compared to the next week. And there's some new add-ons to this one, and some have moved up greatly. Starting off with number 10, new to the top 10, 365 Days to the Wedding. Haven't seen this one. I have not, haven't heard too much about this one. But it has moved up 4 notches into the top 10. Number 9, which moved up 2, which I have already seen an episode of this. You Are Miss Servant. If you haven't seen this, it looks pretty good so far. I mean, I've only gone one episode. I have to go back and watch on it. It's about a servant who's an assassin who ends up with this young man. It's a whole, looks like a rom-com to me, but so far I liked it. I'm going to continue on with it. Moving up 7. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 7. Finally in the top 10. The new Rama Half series on there. I'm about 2 episodes behind. Because it's up to the episodes that I do like. But there are, and I'll tell you this, there are some translation issues. I want to get through the whole entire series, back to forward, English, Japanese, and see what is wrong so far. I've only picked up on one thing so far. In the number 7 position, moving up a notch, tying the knot with an Algamani sister. That's picking up a little steam. And in the number 6, for several weeks in a row, has not moved an inch. And I'm surprised it hasn't moved higher. But I think with the new arc that's coming now, that's starting up now, is Demon Lord 2099. I find it to be fascinating. Really, really good touch on this series. The animation is good. The story is good. Demon Lord in a cyberpunk universe. That's fantastic. I really do enjoy this series. Plus, did I catch a little bit of Laughing Man? It was sort of a tribute to Ghost in the Shell. because the girl that's in there, I forgot her name. I'm sorry, names. Sometimes I have to watch it a lot just to get everybody's name right. But the hacker girl has a program called the Laughing Man. Really? I really like. I caught on to that. I don't know if anybody else caught on to that. In the number 5 position, several weeks in a row, holding as well as Demon Lord 2099, is Blue Box. In the number 4 position, coming down one from last week, is Blue Lock Season 2. And then meanwhile, in the top 3, number 3, moving up 6 notches, 2.5 Dimensional Seduction. Wow, that has really jumped into the top 3. And, ladies and gentlemen, the last 2 in the top 10, which are both, not one, but both series, holding positions for 2 weeks in a row. Number 2 is Don Da Don Don. And the number 1 is Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War. Both of these series are holding positions 2 weeks in a row. I'm surprised Don Da Don Don, after the previous episode, which I think was gorgeously done and comedically done as well, with that that great, they're calling it a controversial ending. Oh, because he's on top of her. But that's the comedic part of some of this. It's not really sexualizing it. It's a comedic part, and this is what you get in anime itself. This is why anime has always been a good series. I mean, come on. A lot of this stuff has been copied by a lot of the Western animation. Please. You go looking at Family Guy, Futurama, many other series, Archer, that have mimicked some of the stuff they do in anime. And that ending itself, where they're running off and the animation is just bizarre in nature, it was hysterical. Bleach 1,000 year blood war. Like I said, I'm way behind. I'm not even nowhere near this yet, so I can't really comment on it. But for some people, says it has been good. There's been a little issue here and there, but everybody has always their critique on any anime itself. So that's the top 10 for this past week itself. A lot of changes. We still had about over 9,000 people vote on this. If you yourself want to vote on any of these animes on a constant basis, you can go to Anime Corner directly on X. They will have a link every week for you for the full results and for next week's voting structure on there. So do catch it on that. And let's move on a little bit. And the thing about it is, if you notice, Dragon Ball Daima has not hit top 10, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. Like I said before, Jump Fiesta is coming up on December 20th. And there's a lot that's coming on. There's supposed to be announcements from everything from Don Da Don Don, Hell's Paradise, One Piece, Gintama, also, let's see, Dragon Ball, also Oshinoko, Chainsaw Man is supposed to be a major release that's coming for that. Spy X Family, My Hero Academia. I mean, also we've gotten probably the old major announcement on this as well. But Overlord will be getting its 5th season on this. It's greenlit, according to some legal documents on Anime Tsusami that they've gotten from Katakawa. So basically, yes, we are going to see it. But the other thing that's been big on here, and most people, we're going to start off this as far as our stories this week. If I mispronounce this, I'm sorry. Karubachi, which has been well anticipated, which is supposed to be a fantastic manga, is supposed to be getting an anime adaptation. But unfortunately, here's the whole thing. There's been a fight for this. A major fight. All the big boys have been coming after it. But believe it or not, a anime group called Cygames Pictures, a subsidiary of Cyber Agent, which does games, is getting the rights to this. Yeah, that's right. A smaller studio is getting this. Now, you may ask yourself, who is Cygame Pictures? Well, if you're familiar with Blade Runner Blackout, which came out in 2017, I believe it ran on Toonami, and it was also on Crunchyroll as well. But this is a new studio for themselves because, I mean, they go back to 2016. They've only done several things. They have, what is it? With including the new series that's coming out, they have 3 other animes, Apocalypse Hotel, Una Musi Cinderella Gray, and The Summer Hikaru Died, which that one is anticipated for 2025. But we're going to read into this from Anime Corner. Karubachi will be getting an anime adaptation by Cygames Pictures, as reported by Japanese Tokyo Kenzat. Cygame Pictures is a subsidiary studio of Cyber Agent, which will be leading the project together with Shoki. The article also notes the potential of Cyber Agent and Shoko partnership to emerge as the third force in the anime industry, which is currently dominated by giants like Sony, Toho, which Sony is interested in acquiring Kadokawa, which that we're still working on. I'll tell you, the reason why we haven't talked about this yet, there's a lot more into this Kadokawa situation. Probably by the new year, we'll be able to put our feet into this. I know a lot of people have talked about it, but there's still, Sony's doing something out there, and I'm not liking it because they're looking also at a couple of gaming studios as well. And we're getting a new president in January, and I don't think this is going to fly with the trade commissions here in the U.S. and probably a couple of other countries. So let's read on. Toyo Kenzai, one of Japanese oldest and most respected business publications, known for reports on major industries from finance and technologies to culture and entertainment. However, the announcement has not been confirmed by the official Kawabachi-related accounts. Probably get that at Jump Fiesta. Kawabachi anime production rights were contested by major companies, which was expected due to the manga's overwhelming popularity. I'm probably going to have to get the manga on this. However, Toyo writes that Cyber Agent and Shoki were chosen despite being relatively less dominant pair in the anime world due to the following reasons. 1, creative vision. Their pitch and visual impressed Shueisha editorial team and the manga's author. 2, risk management. The anime industry prefers spreading projects along different studios to avoid overloading the most popular ones like MAPPA or WIT. 3, global strategy. Cyber Agent's growing international IP plans likely align with Shueisha goals for overseas expansion. I agree with this. You know, this was a shocker, but once you look into it deeply, this might be the best way to bring this series out. It's the same way with Mushoku Tensei. I mean, you built a studio just specifically for Mushoku Tensei. That's why that has been so successful in itself and beautifully done as far as that. I mean, it is one of the best animes. You know, it's going to be in the top of all time, really. Continuing on, their main strengths include the fact that Cyber Agent operates the Japanese streaming service Abema. They majority own it with a 55.2% stake and have successfully tied anime campaigns with major advertisers. On the other hand, Shokyui has expertise in theatrical distribution and owns over 20 cinemas across Japan. That's a plus. That is a plus. Kagubachi has been serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump since September of 2023, with 4 volumes released as of October 2024. The manga won the Next Manga Award 2024 in the print category. Viz Media licensed it in English as well. And, you know, this is, like I said, they're also doing the Summer Hikaru Died adaptation, which that one is going to be the summer of 2025. When will this be out? This could be 2026, depending on when they'll get started with this. It depends on what's going on with this. Like I said, this is a small it's a small animation studio, but with a lot to give. Understand that they have a lot around them, and this is what we need in the anime world. We need more studios out there because a lot of these studios are getting cropped up. We need others to replace them. Mappa and Whip can't take on everything all at once. They're bogged down as it is. I mean, we've seen a lot of delays on certain. I mean, like I said, is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon? We got a week delay on that. We had some delays majorly. Zom 100 majorly delayed for weeks for the last couple of chapters on their anime series, and a lot of others. I mean, you go through this and you see for yourself that this is happening on a constant basis. But let's move on and go on what else is going on around the manga anime world. Looks like in 2025 we will be getting the Invisible Man and soon-to-be wife anime. That's been revealed. It's a rom-com manga, and it's officially coming to the screen somewhere for 2025, probably for the summer or winter on that, depending on when they've started animating this. Plus, there's a lot more coming very soon. Like I said, Jump Fiesta is coming in, so we got more to look forward to, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But let's get with our next story here. Now, back a bit, we've been hearing, inklings of this situation with Netflix, and that there's been a leaker for some of their series, including Don Da Don Don and many others that have been leaked out to the internet. They're trying to figure this out. And now we're seeing that courts are running out subpoenas to Discord in order to find this leaker, which I find very problematic when it comes to it. But we're going to read this article. It's Danica Davison off on Otaku USA magazine. In August, Netflix suffered some major leaks, which included anime episodes and movies finding their way online. At the time, a spokesman for Netflix said that one of our post-production partners has been compromised and footage from several of our titles that have unfortunately leaked online. Our team is aggressively taking action to have it taken down. But this is about more than getting the anime and other shows and movies taken down. Netflix wants to find the person or people responsible for the leaks in the first place, and they've taken it to court. The Northern District of California Court has subpoenaed Discord after Netflix filed the request 10 days ago. It's a little bit longer by now. A Discord user with the handle @JaceJohns4N had posted stuff about Netflix show Squid Games on the site. Elsewhere on the internet, someone's calling themselves Jace Johnson, claiming to be behind the leaks, and Jace Johnson is close to Jace Johnson 4M. Netflix thinks this might be their person, or at least one of them. You know what the problem is in that? You're doing no investigation. Anyone can plop down a name on the internet. Unless you go deep in and find out who this person is directly, you shouldn't be going after sites like Discord. The court is telling Discord it wants information on this individual, and Discord needs to cough up. This comes not long after Nexon, a South Korean publisher, subpoenaed Discord over the information revolving around Discord users whom Nexon says are infringing on their work. In this case, Discord is trying to get the subpoena thrown out. Anime affected by the leak, including Rama Half, the new one, not the original, Dan Da Dan Dan, Re:Zero, Terminator Zero, and Giko Mononoke Kakosan. Non-anime titles were likewise impacted, like Plankton the movie, Arcane, Heartstopper Season 3, Gentry Chow versus the Underworld, and Spellbound, all experiencing their own leaks. The leak footage contained blurred watermarks, and these watermarks could also be potentially used to figure out the leaker one way or another. Whoever did this most likely be found out. Now, see, here's the thing. They're trying to attack a social media site itself to try to find. How do we really know that that is the actual person? What you need to do is to backtrack to your production houses. How did this person get all these leaks? This is somebody from the inside. The watermarks tell you where they came from. You don't need Discord to tell you where they came from. You need to do a major investigation in the production house. You don't want to do it. You're attacking Discord itself. And for the reasons they probably want to go after people that have criticized their programming. It's not the first time. YouTubers have been attacked the same way also. That they want our names and addresses and stuff like that on there. Now, for the person that did this, I don't condone it. I don't condone ripping off on that. But it's not the first time on some of this stuff. Now, I can understand if he or she, we don't know, could be a she, grabbed trailers. I can understand that. And you're doing it from a news point of view that this happens. You get, even Hollywood movie studios have gone through this same situation. Grabbing full episodes and putting them online, yeah, that's a little bit of piracy on itself, especially if it hasn't been released on Netflix itself. That's a situation separately than everything else. I myself have worked for production houses like this. In fact, I worked on them where basically when I started out in them, we didn't have that major issue when it came to bootlegging and piracy and all that. We called it bootlegging back then because basically, there was no internet when a lot of stuff, because it was the early days of the VHS. But as we got along, in the time period, we started putting watermarks on everything. And the last company that I was with, which was down south, we had watermarks on everything. And basically, we were checked, to make sure we didn't have anything that basically could compromise the product when we walked out the door. If we wanted a copy of it for ourselves, for our library, we asked, and they gave it to us, but within a certain time period after release. We were not allowed to have it prior to it. And you made sure that basically, when you worked for these places, because a lot of times, a lot of this stuff got released when it got released on DVD itself. These were coming off pancakes themselves. It wasn't like VHS for the VHS era, which you could see on the screen what it was, and you pulled it on there. A lot of times, the factories that were running these were running them under code numbers. So technically, you didn't really know what was in there unless you were handling the quality control, and then you knew what was on that disc. Netflix needs to go back and check with their production houses, their editing facilities and stuff like that. Somebody there leaked it. It has to be. Unless, they've been hacked majorly. A lot of these studios, they do have safety features that lock everything out. As far as what's in the editing room and stuff like that. Once it gets out, that basically it's in the server to be sent out to Netflix and stuff like that, or to distribution. That's where it's open, and that's possibly where you have your issues. You got to look at that and where it backtracks to. You should be able to do it. You're going over to Discord to highlight people that don't, they want to keep their names quiet on there. You're going to go after everyone that's clicked on it. That's what you want to do. You're not going after punishing the person who leaked it out. You're going after anyone who clicked on it as well. It's not their fault. It's there. It's your fault to make sure that your security is up and running. So let me know in the comments. Just let me know your thoughts about this situation. We'll continue to monitor it and see what happens with Discord as it goes along. So let's finish off with this. Yeah, bit of a short show this week. Now, two people to look at this. Two other content creators. Totally Not Mark and Yellow Flash. Check out their videos. They've talked about this. Because, this is a bit of a situation. With the release of Dragon Ball Daima, there has been a bit of a problem. Their viewership has not been good. Why? Why hasn't it been good? A lot of reasons to that. I mean, is the series bad as well? No, it isn't. Actually, it's fantastic. The last episode, Tachami, was a fantastic fight scene, which brings up elements from Super and some of the movies. I mean, the fight scene was brilliantly done. I mean, it was a 6-minute fight, but still, wow. It's amazing. And I said, because, a lot of people were saying, oh, they're bringing back GT. No, I don't think they're bringing back GT. What they're doing here, and I hope after the last episode, I wholeheartedly believe this, is looking at these, 9 episodes? It was 9 episodes that have gone by. What they're doing here, what Toriyama, and I believe that's what he thought of this, he's brought back the elements of the original OG Dragon Ball Z, and I believe little elements of Dragon Ball Super in a couple of the movies. GT, no. I'm sorry. Just because they're kids and stuff like that, I don't see it. And for those of you who haven't seen the episode yet, and basically I'm going to spoil it here, I believe we're going to be seeing a new Majin Buu. And we've gotten the revelation that Majin Buu was not created by Bibbidi, which I thought so in a way, because knowing how Bobbidi acted, that basically they used people to do their bidding with those M's, like what they did to Vegeta and a couple of the other characters, what they did to Bora, to put that M, to control them by their emotions. And you saw that there was a witch in that episode, and she had that M on her. So that leads me to believe that Bibbidi may have had control of her at one point to create Majin Buu. That's my thought on that. And that we're going to see a new Majin Buu. What kind of Majin Buu is this going to be? How much of a difference? What will it look like? Will it look like Kid Buu? Will it look like the middle one? I forgot what he called, Super Buu or whatever it was on there. Or is it going to be another big Majin Buu original first level? We don't know yet. That is still to come. But now Goku's gotten the first Dragon Ball. Vegeta and Piccolo and Bulma are on their way to meet them at the next transit point to the second demon level. So this is going to get a little bit more interesting. Like I said, it's not GT. It's not GT at all. But the thing is that we're talking about that Totally Not Mark has talked about, that he was digging into this, that basically, there's been a lot of craziness to this situation. Part of it is marketing to the point, because we haven't seen the English dubs as of yet. I know the English dub is supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be soon. What has held everyone back on this? I think the other problem is with this, and I've said this on Totally Mark's X account and Yellow Flashes is that basically, not everyone has caught on to this yet, and I think there's been too many streaming sites that are doing this. I mean, you have Netflix, you have Hulu, Crunchyroll, a couple others that are streaming this, and I think that was, the exclusivity of the situation. Now, if I understand, it was Crunchyroll, Hulu, with a week's difference, or Crunchyroll, Netflix, which Netflix is a week behind, mind you. Yeah, they are a week behind. If you're watching the series currently right now off of Netflix, you're a week behind. Crunchyroll has it up to date to the situation when you watch this series. But what's holding everyone back from watching this? I mean, we've done our top 10. I mean, as far back as this starting on on Anime Corner, it hasn't hit a top 10. I think maybe the first week that it did. But after that, it hasn't been in the top 10. It's been in the top 20, yeah, obviously. But what is holding everyone back? Which that is in itself a quagmire itself. That this hasn't been a major hit. Is people tired of the situation? I don't think so. I mean, the fans are out there. I think, like I said, part of the situation is the marketing. The way that this has been marketed. It's been terrible marketing from Toei, and from everybody else that's been on this. Same thing with Netflix. Netflix didn't push this out as like they've done with many other animes itself. What's going on over Netflix? Why haven't they pushed this? Even though they have it when new episodes come out, it's on the top of the screen for anyone who likes anime. It's shown on their main listing on there, but not, it hasn't been promoted heavily to that point. The other part is the GT predicament. People keep mentioning, oh, it's a GT, it's a GT remake, it's a GT this, GT that. And I think that's also pushing certain viewers away. Because they're thinking, oh, God, it's another GT, because what happened the last time, the first half of the story, it just didn't work out. And they had to ramp up the story. They brought in the baby situation and all that later on. You get storylines on that. I mean, Super, some people complained on the first part, and then they went into that Goku Black, and then they just, it just blew up after that. And we got, into the World Tournament. I mean, a lot of people didn't get into Super till they got to the World Tournament. The what is it? The Universe Tournament or whatever it was called on that. I mean, that was fantastic. That tournament, that whole tournament saga between the universes. I mean, that was fantastic, and that whole finale segment where Frieza and Goku teamed up together with 17, and in that whole fight ending was phenomenal. I mean, you had big parties in South America and Mexico and all the places that loved, really truly fans of Dragon Ball that went completely nuts about that fight. But like I said before, that last episode fight was phenomenal as well. The way, the jumps, the movements, that hammer flying off, and Goku jumping on the hammer, breaking it off, and and continuing on. And then that last segment with the what do they call it, the shell game, which was that was brilliantly done too. You figure Goku's just looking straight on it, and I hate to give you oh no, it ain't under there, it's way over there. And this is why I love Dragon Ball. He's fighting another being, from that world, and they get respect at the end for each other. He bidded farewell to Goku when he left. That's a good tale to discuss, that you could fight somebody and still be respected in the end. That's why I've always loved the Dragon Ball series. And that's why it harks back to me with the original Dragon Ball series. Because people said, oh, I didn't like the Pilaf story. Okay, you didn't like the Pilaf story. But I enjoyed it. It was a nice little add on. And, you have Pilaf coming back every once in a while, still trying to get the Dragon Balls. And the Red Ribbon Army, I love the Red Ribbon Army. And you still seen harks of it, when you had the Android Saga, Cell, all that came afterwards with Red Ribbon in that last movie that they had the superheroes. That it's great to see those characters come back because that was a major issue for Goku, even when he was a young kid. Well, we're going to have to wait and find out at this point. When the English dubs come out, let's see how it does from that point of view. Totally Mark said. So we'll wait for that and see what happens. And hopefully it'll pick up. And because, like I said, I'm loving it. I am loving the series on there. So let me know in the comments below. It's a bit of a shorter version on this episode, but we're working on a lot for the next couple of weeks on there. So we're also we're paying attention to what's been going on with Jump Fiesta, and I think there is another Comic-Con that's going on now. That one of the last ones that has some anime listings on that. So we're just waiting for the information to come out on that. And then, of course, January we got one fresh out of the box. There's another anime manga convention that will be coming out straight in January as well. So comment, let me know your thoughts about what we brought you today. Don't forget to hit that like, share this video, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. So until next week, next Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube and Rumble. Have a good week. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Enjoy yourself. Get out there. If you happen to have a neighborhood, because I know there are neighborhoods throughout the country that decorate beautifully, get out there, check them out. Hang out with some family members, some friends. Get out there. Don't listen to what they've been telling you in the media. They're saying, stay away from those who have opposing opinions. No, don't listen to them. Hang out. Enjoy yourself. Get in some shopping, too. Some great deals out there this year. And, the crowds are not like it used to be before. Black Friday wasn't as crazy as everyone thought it was going to be. So do get out there. Until next time, thank you for tuning in. And so long. Take in some manga and anime also. Enjoy yourself.
Thanks for watching, commenting, and sharing this video. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe as this helps the reach of this channel. Finally, as a content viewer, you have the ability to help support this channel as new internet laws around the world will diminish our reach and affect our sponsors. If you choose to help, there are two ways listed in the description below. The first link will lead you to a pay site where you can make a monetary donation. The second will lead you to our gear shop where you can buy shirts, mugs, and other gear. Discounts will be listed on the site. Once again, thank you for watching and your support.
Fuck all what you think, bitch. Make sure let me paint this.